Well, I wrote myself a note, speak slower. I'll try to remember to do that. Now, there's an interesting question. Is that standard English, speak slower, or should it be speak more slowly? Which is more correct? That's a question of usage. And usage is a subject that I don't deal with very much in this entire course. I'm more descriptive about language than prescriptive. But that's another matter. I must remember, speak, if not more slowly, at least more clearly than I usually do. All right, going on with syntax and the Reed-Kellogg system of diagramming. I think this would be by now in your notes on page 10.2 perhaps. An adjective. Here's another sentence part. I think I've given you three. Yesterday I showed you a clause, a subject, and a predicate. Now I want to show you a modifier. So an adjective is not a part of a sentence. An adjective is a part of speech. Modifier, there is the part of a sentence. Well, adjectives and adverbs can modify. So what you do with Reed-Kellogg diagramming is you put modifiers standardly underneath the word they modify in the diagram, and you put them on a 45-degree angle. So if you had the sentence, birds sing, well, and as I've shown you now, birds would be capitalized because it starts the sentence, birds sing. Well, if you want to modify that word birds, what kind of, how many, how much, whose, how many, how much, what kind of, whose, or which one? I got them out of order. Those are the questions that adjectives answer. So let's go with what kind of. What kind of birds? Little birds sing. Well, what you would do is you would put little underneath the word it modifies. What kind of birds? Little birds. Well, now it would be capitalized to show you that that's where the sentence begins. So now little birds sing. Well, since I've shown you coordination, I'll show you coordination right now as well. Adjectives, modifiers can be coordinated. I could say all little birds sing. Now I would have two modifiers. How many? All. That's probably not true. I'm sure that's not true, but all little birds sing. But I still haven't shown you coordination. All, well, if they're not alive, they're not going to sing. So let's say all live and little birds sing. All right, so if they're live, they're not dead. So all birds sing, live and little birds sing. Well, what you would do there is you put a dashed line, and there you would put and now those two modifiers have been joined by a coordinating conjunction, and it could go on. You could join more if you wanted to. All right, there's an adjective acting as a modifier. Well, an adverb can also act as a modifier. If we took that sentence and said, let's go back to just birds. Birds sing. As a matter of fact, I want to change that. Birds have been singing. Let me change this. Have been singing. Birds have been singing. Well, one of the things that I run into when I teach this is kids, they want a diagram. This looks like so much fun. They think they understand, but they haven't done their morphology. They may say have modifies singing. No, it doesn't. Or been modifies singing. Or have modifies been. No. This is a verb phrase. These are helping verbs, and they have to be recognized. Birds have been singing sweetly. How? Adverbs, part of the bare necessities of grammar, morphology, is that you need to know that adverbs will ask or answer one of these 4 questions. How, when, where, or why. Well, they have been singing how? Sweetly. All right, sweetly. That's got that ly on the end, an inflection that very often happens with adjectives when they're converted into adverbs. That also is a matter of morphology. Birds have been singing sweetly. Well, an adverb can modify a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. Let's make these birds bright. Bright birds. That's an adjective. But let's make it very bright. Now what we've done is we've got the intensifier. This is an adverb. Very bright birds. What kind of birds? Bright birds. How bright? Very bright. Very bright birds have been singing sweetly. And once again, an adverb is a word that modifies a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. Well, let's say so sweetly. How sweetly? So sweetly. Now we've got 1, 2, 3 instances, that's not part of diagramming, of adverbs acting as modifiers. One other thing to tell you here, and then I'm going to have a third video, is in commands. I guess this isn't exactly another part of a sentence, I don't think. But in commands, sometimes there's just one word like go, leave, stop. Well, there's only one word. And since I said all sentences are going to have a clause, and a clause has a subject and a predicate, how can you do that with only one word? Well, of course, grammarians understand that it's understood that you are the one who's to go. You go. Now in English it's just go. In so many other languages the verb changes its ending. So it's clear that it's the imperative mood. I get mixed up on that. I think mood goes go. Well, in Reed-Kellogg diagramming, when you've got a word that is understood but it's not there, what you do is you put an X in the original form. You understand that there's a word there. I regard this as a mistake when teachers teach that what you should do is put in parentheses you. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to, well, I'll do it, but I'll only partway do it, because they would put you, go. The reason I don't think they should do that is because parentheses has another job to do in the Reed-Kellogg system, which I'll show you about later on. And so I like to go back to their original system where they put a lowercase x anytime you've got a word that's understood but not written. And notice that the G is capitalized, so you know that the sentence starts with, well, there's only one word there anyway, go. All right, one more video today. I hope you come back.